Welcome to this video tutorial of how to apply a green screen effect to a video. Here is an example of what I've done earlier, just to give you an example of what we're going to try and achieve in this video. So you can see Gareth looking extra chilly behind with a mountain backdrop. And if you click on the movie clip, you can click this effect just to switch in and out to see what the effect does. So now let's set up a project so you can learn how to apply the effect in the first place. Now go to File, New Project, click No, and then choose a relevant name for the project. I'm going to call it Green Screen Test, and then go to Location by going to Browse, and then select a relevant location for your project so you can remember where it will be later on, and then go to Green Screen Test 4, make sure it's got an individual name, and then select Choose, and then go to Scratch Disks, and then double check you've got same as project for all of the options and click OK. Once the project's loaded up, you now want to import the media, all of the content you need for this project. So you want to choose the one when Gareth is looking extra chilly, and then the mountain backdrop, and click Import by pressing Return or selecting the Import button. And now I'll drag over the movie clip to the timeline. And now you want to trim the video. So I like to trim it to the point where he starts performing, starts acting. And so I trim sort of the beginning part. At the beginning you have got me counting down 3, 2, 1, so you make sure you trim it to after I start saying that. And then you also want to trim the ending, and I like to trim it to the point where he's looking at the camera. And now you want to then lock the video track and then delete the audio, because we won't be needing the audio for this project. And now drag over, before you drag over from Mountains JPEG to the timeline, you want to now make sure the movie clip is on V2, because essentially it's like Photoshop in the sense that anything, so it works from V3, V2, V1, anything above will basically show in front of the video track behind it. So for example, at the moment here you've got V2 showing, but now if you drag over the Mountains JPEG to V1, you won't see V1, and you will only see V1 until we actually apply the green screen effect. So now let's apply the green screen effect, and go to Video Effects and go to Keying, and then you want to choose the video effect called Ultra Key, and drag that effect over to the video clip. And now you want to choose the color picker, and now you want to choose, make sure you click on the background. Generally I would recommend selecting the most green part of the video, just because if the green screen is being lit correctly, it should be the most consistent part of your background. So therefore when it replaces the colour, it should then be able to replace the whole of it rather than just some of it. So click, I would say, for bottom right, because that looks the most green. And as you can see here, the green screen effect, unfortunately, because the lighting wasn't perfect, shows some of the spill of the green screen. So when I say spill, I mean for sort of pixelization, as you can kind of see sort of around Gareth. And what you want to do first, before we start cleaning up the green screen effect, is to make sure the JPEG behind it fills up the whole screen. So it doesn't really matter what order you do this in, but I will do it this way for now. Is right click for Mountains JPEG and then go to Scale to Frame Size. And as you can see, it then blows the image up to fill up the majority of the screen. Unfortunately, because the image isn't the right aspect ratio, as in like 16:9 or 4:3, it doesn't fill up the whole screen because the video is 16:9 and the image itself was only 4:3. So what we do here is then click on the Mountains JPEG and then go to Effect Controls, and then you want to scale in until it fills up the whole screen. And now we've got that, we can worry about correcting the green screen effect. Select the video clip, and then what I like to do is go to Setting and then use Aggressive. And as you can see straight away, it's got rid of quite a bit of the spill. But as you play through the video clip, unfortunately you can see a bit of pixelization to the left and to the right of the screen. And what you can do to clean that up, to correct it, is I like to sometimes either use a bit of soften, a bit of choke, but what I'll do to correct this is I'll use the pedestal setting. And as you increase it, you can see how some of the spill disappears. And now let's check the video so you can see. It's not perfect, but you can start to see the green screen behind it starts properly disappearing. And so what I would recommend is, every scenario, every video is going to be different, so I just generally recommend using the different settings here to perfect your green screen effect, and until you're happy with the effect. So yes, I would say that is the end of this tutorial, and I would also like to hear some of your recommendations or suggestions for what video tutorials you would like done in the future. So for example, if you want maybe like a split screen video, or even if it's just the basics of Adobe Premiere, feel free to send in some recommendations. And also, if you've got any questions about this tutorial, like for example, if something hasn't happened exactly the same on your computer, you might have a different Premiere version, so there might be slight variations, variables to for different pieces of software. And even if you would like to learn a bit more about how to fine tune it, or just any questions that has arisen while you doing this tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.